So why don't you talk? Let's get into the SK stuff now.
Yeah.
Because you've had ups, downs, sideways, been on top, and then been on the bottom.
Oh yeah.
Right. Just talk about your SK career for a little bit.
Yeah, SK racing is about what it chalks up to be. It's
well, not only for you, for everybody though.
Yeah.
I mean, Di Matteo's going through it right now. I mean, everybody goes through it.
We just went through some slumps, man. Like when we first started racing SKs, not just at Stafford but at Thompson, we had a mediocre car. The thing was bent, diamond somewhere. We couldn't get this car to figure out to save our lives. We ended up giving that to Keith to try and figure out, and he couldn't even figure it out. So I wasted the first year at Thompson. Actually, I gained experience in a car like that.
Right.
Went back the second year with bought a car off Eric Goodale, and that thing is stout. That's actually the 48 now. That thing is never leaving the arsenal. It's probably one of the best cars I got, actually.
Really?
Matter of fact, thing is sick. I love that car to death.
Yeah.
But I learned a lot with that car, how that car acted, and just like I was able to drive the car how I wanted. Like you go into an SK Light, you're essentially driving a high horsepower go-kart because it's all it is. Like it's no motor, big tire. You can't spin the tires if you wanted to. Like and if your car's hooked up, you could do whatever you want.
Right.
And that's exactly what that Hovey's kid doing right now. I just look at that car and I'm like, Jesus Christ, that thing is just like how my SK Light used to be.
Right.
Like just drive the piss out of it.
He's probably as confident as you were back then too, honestly.
When you got a car like that, you can do whatever you want. You feel like Superman.
He does every week. And he's like, I asked him this week, like, dude, that car was pretty wrecked.
Yeah.
He goes, I was still as good as them though.
Yeah.
The rear was bent. I couldn't warm the tires up because I'm dragging the Nerf bar. I didn't want to get thrown out, but we were still as good as the leaders.
Stout. I mean, like stout. And then from like when you go from something like that and you go into SK racing, you're not going to get that every week unless you got your shit figured out.
Especially in your division.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because like how we attacked the SK Light, we kind of had to throw out and go a completely different route with the SK because it's apples to oranges. You take some of what you learn with that and you put it into your SK, but as far as shocks and spring and angles and everything. Who
does all that for you guys? Do you play a big part in that?
So right now I do, yes. When I first started, I was more or less learning and trying to like learn more about everything from the motor down to the chassis. I was trying to learn as much as I could. I drank it in as much as I could, and then working with Jimmy Fuller, Robbie Fuller, Ryan Stone. I'm working with a slide with a little bit now at the open car. Like we bounce ideas off each other, and I kind of like pick his brain whenever if I want to go a certain direction with setup or anything. Like the guy's an open notebook. The guy's awesome to talk to.
Who's that?
Sly Saban.
Great
dude.
Great guy.
SSR Performance.
One of my favorite peoples. He really is
the best. Mm-hmm. Like, and he's a phone call away. He's awesome.
I got a good question for you, and I think this is something that fascinates me because the Speedbowl is my home track. So, you, Brian, Corey, and Mike have a really good bond between the four of you, right?
Mm-hmm.
You guys all race. Now, Brian's not racing this year, but
what is he doing?
He spots for Lutz. He got to win at North Wilkesboro.
He spots
Craig?
for Lutz.
Yeah.
He spots for Bobby, yeah.
Yep.
Does he really?
Oh, yeah, he's spotted for the 46.
Yep.
I think he's a hell of a show.
Well, what I was going to say is, at the Speedbowl, if there was four guys that had the bond that you have, and they all race in the same division, they would all pit right next to each other. And you guys all pit on almost, Mikey's behind turn one. You're near the concession stand. Corey is on the other side of the concession stand. And when Brian was racing, he was kind of down in the chassis pro area. Like, you guys aren't near each other.
Yeah.
Is that just a weird coincidence, or is it? Don't you think that's a different dynamic, Diego? Like at Stafford, there's something about that's just. I just feel like
that's Stafford.
Yeah, if there was four people at the bowl like that, you guys would. It's a weird dynamic.
Yeah. Well, I will say this: the atmosphere at the bowl versus the atmosphere at Stafford, it's like going from Daytona International to
completely
Wilkesboro.
different.
It's completely different. Mm-hmm. It's more relaxed at the bowl.
Yeah,
and I could see why people do that. But like when we're at Stafford, it's 100% focus 100% of the time, and the only time we get to like tomfoolery or bullshit or do anything is when we go to the driver's meeting and we walk up to the board to go watch where we're starting for the heat race. That's
Yeah.
really the only time we get to mingle or whatever. But we just
That's amazing to me.
Yeah. It really is, right?
It's amazing to me that, part of fun of racing is the banter, the camaraderie before the racing, hanging out. Like at the bowl, man, I'm cooking out inside my trailer, and my neighbors are all coming in, and
Yeah.
we're hanging out.
Yeah.
It's almost like a picnic,
right.
right? You go to Stafford, it's nothing like that at all.
Except the Chassis Pro area.
Yeah,
They got a little thing going. I think that's largely because Missy cooks and stuff,
Big
Right.
time.
But, there's a big section of KRR cars, and they're not like Nick
probably
Hubby.
half of them don't like each other.
They
Yeah.
ain't grilling.
Yeah,
They got
like-
potato chips over there.
Like Nick Hubby, right? Like Nick Hubby and Meg Fuller aren't, chit chatting away over there. You know what I mean? Or
Yeah.
like none of those guys are really talking to each other. Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny.
But that's the intensity that Keith brings. Like when you go to work with Keith, it's no bullshit. It's 100%. It's you're giving me your all, because like if he's gonna put in all that effort with you,
Right.
take time away from his other deal to come help you, he wants equal amount back. Like otherwise, what
Right.
am I doing this for?
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of the mentality that them guys all have too. Like it's not just a lot of it is Keith, but a lot of it too is like they're coming down to like the Jervises and stuff. They go down and they work on the cars too. I think the Flynn's do that, and I think Pulio is kind of reserved. He does that
Yeah.
kind of his own house, his own shop deal. But like that's what Keith brings to the table that no one else does. It's just like it's 100%
Do you
focus.
think that that's because? So I'm curious. Is it because Stafford? I remember we went there with my brother, and we had a streeter last year once or twice. I mean, you don't even have time to change a spring if you wanted to.
Yeah.
It's just like bang, 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 bang. There's like you don't really have time because you're going out and like they're calling you out back in within 10 minutes. So you don't have
Yeah.
time to go and mingle anywhere.
No.
Right? I mean, it happens so fast there. Compared to the Speedbowl, it's like you do your practice and you're sitting around for a half hour to your next practice.
Yeah.
Right.
It seems like.
Really relaxed. Even when I used to help out, after I not stopped helping Keith, but I just kind of stepped away for a little bit to focus on my own deal. And then
Yeah.
when DiMatteo started racing a lot more in the SKs, I'd start helping them. And that's exactly how it was. Like, it was just like it was calm.
Right.
For most of the part, it was calm because something always broke on that.
Yeah.
So if we weren't keeping busy with the car, we had plenty of time to bullshit,
Right.
talk with Jags and all that. That was the best part, going down to go see Jags.
No,
Yeah,
it really is.
Yeah.
All that part is so.
Yeah.
I mean, I go visit Jags all the
Yeah,
time.
Jags is the best.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
hug him almost
Yeah.
weekly. I sit in his lawn chair in his trailer with him,
Yeah.
and yeah.
Now, what about your brother? It's your younger brother?
He's my twin.
You guys are twins?
Twins.
No shit.
He's
I didn't
the
know
older
that.
one too.
Is that right?
Yeah.
And so did he do carts or anything? Did he
He
not?
did.
Yeah.
Yeah. He so we
Wow, I didn't know you guys were twins. That's wild.
he's older too. He rubs it in my face. I still got a foot on you, brother. But
What's his name?
Giancarlo.
Giancarlo. Okay, yep.
We call him Juan Pablo. But we started at the same time. So we got one go-kart. We were Tiger Spent. So Tiger B at the time when you first start, we were gonna initially just share it. So he'd run it one week, I'd run the next. So I ran it the first week with Jeff came down. I remember we put this thing in the back of this old Dodge that we had. We drove it down, didn't know how we were gonna do. Fared all right. I mean, we figured out like after the first couple of races how to run around the place. But then it was my brother's turn. My brother, the first race out, flipped this thing down the back stretch, folded the wing over like bad. He's crying, whatever. It's like that. He's retired permanently at that point. So I got in all duct taped up. I finished the race. And then like a year later, he kind of got the itch again. My father went and bought another Tiger Sprint, and we were going to run at the same time. I think he did one race. He finished fourth, and he didn't have the edge to do it after that. So we just kind of parked it.
Wow.
So I did another year with Tiger A's, and then I went to juniors with Brian, and then after that we went right to streeters.
Wow.
Yeah.
A lot of legendary drivers are twins. Obviously, Mike and Ted, Keith and Jeff. Dennis Gate is a twin.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's got a twin sister, actually.
Oh,
Yep,
okay.
Yep. And it's just you two, or do you have any other siblings?
I got an older sister, Talia.
And is she into racing at all?
She tends to be when she's got that feeling, but she's always asking me about it. Like if I'm big, like if there's a race and I could watch it on my phone, I put it on my phone, and she's like, I could see her peeking, like she thinks she's slick, but she pretends like she doesn't like it a lot, but she's always asking me about it, and she's always wanting to watch it too.
Does she go to? Do they go to support you at the track? Or?
My mother used to be a weekly goer, and then as soon as Flo came around, forget about it. She's, you know, I can hear everything now. I can actually hear the announcers. Like I can watch.
I was going to say, I feel like I don't see your mom that much anymore. Yeah,
no, she only comes for the big ones, so she comes. She's good for like 2 or 3 times a year now, and then my sister goes when she goes. So it's like, you know, I see her every once in a while. My grandfather used to be a weekly goer too. Nino T, we call him. He's always the one that was always starting arguments. There was one night at Thompson, actually, it was the MRS race. I think Teddy caught Keith at the wrong angle and hooked him down the backstretch, and he was actually going over to fight Teddy, and I had to go and corral him up so we wouldn't start doing that. That was great. That was great times, though. They're great memories.
Yeah, that's great, man.